Hello, corporate badasses. I'm so excited to be here with you again this week with another incredible guest to celebrate the Summer of Magic and the work that we're doing to change the leadership table and to get women promoted into higher level leadership positions. Today, I have an incredible leader, client, woman, all of the above on today, who's going to talk a little bit about her journey as a leader and also share some of her magical tips, what's worked out for her in the past. And maybe you can even apply some of that magic to your career over the next couple of months. Before we get into that, and then I'm going to let Sabrina talk for the rest of today's conversation, I want to talk a little bit about what the Summer of Magic is and where it came from. So if you're new to this series, we're actually in our fourth year. I created this, sort of by happenstance because I received a text message from a client about 4 years ago in the middle of July. And she said, guess what? I got my promotion offer to vice president. And she said, and the best thing was I was sitting on the beach with my family. And I was like, of course you did. Of course you did, because she had put in the work and she had set herself up so that then she could receive the benefits even while she was on vacation. And so from that point on, I went on a mission to say, how many more women could we do this with? Like this idea of receiving, this idea of bringing in, more abundance into our careers and letting things happen for us because we've put in the work. We're all corporate badasses. We have set ourselves up to be successful for today and for the future. And I couldn't come up with a better word than just magic, right? And really understanding that there's a process behind that magic and giving those tools to each and every one of you. So this summer, in the summer of 2025, I'm here to once again celebrate 108 women who receive promotions during the summer of 2025, even while they were on vacation. And Sabrina has had a magnificent career, and I am here to celebrate you. So why don't we turn it over, introduce yourself, Sabrina, tell us all a little bit about yourself.
Great. Thank you. And thank you for having me today. And hi, everybody. So Sabrina Aery, I work for a pharmaceutical company, Bristol-Myers Squibb, where I have been for 22 years. It's been a really fruitful, long career at BMS, and I'll talk about some of that. But I've also done a lot of things before joining BMS as well. So I've been in the healthcare sector my whole career. It's a passion of mine and something that I've really tried to bring through in every role that I take. I love the intersection of business and policy, and you'll hear me talk about that a lot as well. And that's really been a mainstay in every role I've had throughout my career, whether it's been with Bristol-Myers Squibb or prior to Bristol-Myers Squibb.
I love it. Yeah. Sabrina impressed me from the moment that I met her. And, I have to be honest, pull back the curtain. I work with the clients that I do because they lift me up, right? They inspire me of what they're doing and creating in the world. So, and thank you for saying hi, Jennifer, Funmi. It's so great to see both of you. Definitely say hi if you're watching us. We like to know who's out there. And even if you watch the replay, please connect with us and say hi. So Sabrina, to kick us off, let's just go right into the magic sauce. Do you believe in magic?
I believe in magic, but I think it's also the magic we make.
Yes.
I agree with how you teed up this conversation. I get so much feedback sometimes that people just think these new roles or promotions just magically happen for me. I'm somehow lucky.
Right, exactly. Isn't that overnight success, right? Yeah.
And they don't realize the amount of work that goes behind situating yourself for the right opportunities. And some of that magic, really comes from, or I think for me, what's worked is one, I'm a very curious person and I like to be on the edge of my seat and learning new things. So I take risky roles and take, I'm very flexible in the work that I'm doing and in the work that I'm representing or the projects that I'm working on, if they will give me growth and I'm learning new things. And so that has really stood me up for a lot of success. And the other I would say is I've done a lot of emphasis and time and work in building not only an internal network, which is so critical and important, and to make sure that that network is within your function, but also spans the enterprise, and then an external network as well. And I think it's one thing when people say networks, and I also think about it as an advisory board. So in my advisory board, I have internal people, I have external people, and they're people I admire and I look up to. I've had some champions in my career, and I've been the benefactor of that, and I've been so grateful. But I also have a lot of strong allies through building this advisory board, and it really helps me clarify my direction. And I feel like, Stacy, thanks to you and our work together, I was realizing that advisory board wasn't enough, and I could benefit from some career coaching as well. And I think those things coming together has really brought a sense of clarity that has, really set me up well for success, especially given my more recent promotion.
Yeah. And one of the things that I'm hearing from you, because we talk about all of the steps that we took to then create the poof of magic, right? And I think people, especially when they've been at the same organization for 22 years, just focus on networking within the organization, right? And so you're sort of like, who do I need to get to know here? It doesn't even occur to them to branch out, to spread their wings, because you're not looking to leave, right? You're not thinking, oh, I network because I need a job. And it sounds like this success formula has been to be able to network externally, to lift you up, to lift your career, to have these advisors, to have people reminding you. And I guarantee part of that is success in the job, right? If you especially if you're at the same company for 22 years, you don't want to just only know what your company does. You want to know what everybody else in the market and everything is
Exactly.
doing. Yeah,
Yeah.
tell us some more about that process and how that's kind of evolved over the
Yeah.
years.
One thing that's made it maybe easier to develop that external network is I use conferences, industry specific conferences, as not only opportunities to learn, but opportunities to grow that network, and really do a lot of work following up on those relationships. And then as those mature, they may become part of my advisory board, and vice versa. So I think if you're able to even be invited as a speaker at some of these conferences, it sets you up for success even more. I do a lot of public speaking at external drug pricing conferences, guest lecturing with universities, things like that. I think really help you grow that network and that advisory board, and really give you different perspectives.
Yeah. You talked briefly about that intersection. What were your words? The intersection of policy and something. You said it more eloquently.
Business.
I think we
The
probably worked on this
intersection
together.
the intersection of business and policy.
Yeah, yeah. So I imagine, like, even just when I meet you, you seem very passionate about the work that you do. Like, it matters, right? And you have the ability, and I want to always remind people, if they want to be the change, right? Get yourself into a position of influence, right? And actually become that change. So can you tell us more about your desire, passion, enthusiasm around the work that you're doing, and what that intersection means?
Yeah, thank you. So I'm lucky enough to lead a team now responsible for global and US health system policy analytics at Bristol-Myers Squibb. So that's looking at new laws and regulations and how we will comply with them, how that impacts the bottom line of our business, our forecasting, and any like allowed mitigation efforts, or creative solutions. And some of those areas like 340B or the, complying with the Inflation Reduction Act. More recently, President Trump's executive order around most favored nation drug pricing. We're at the intersection of, pivotal policies that impact the bottom line of our company.
Yeah, it's huge. I'm so thankful that you're there and you're able to, help your and support your company in all directions, right? Um, so this leads me into my final question that I love to ask all my guests, which is why do you personally feel motivated to have that voice at the table?
Yeah, I think it's really twofold. Everything I just mentioned, it's so pivotal to the future of our company, of the sector, the pharmaceutical sector. It has such a dramatic impact on the entire healthcare ecosystem, whether that's in the US or, we're seeing ripples of this globally as well. But then on my own side, it's, you know, I'm lucky enough to have the strength of being able to look at very complex things and see the path forward and see the options quickly and see the path forward. So I think that and my ability to leverage strengths of others and lead effective teams and execute on very large projects, like being at the table on things like this. Um, it's really what drives me. It's really my passion. And I love, almost like looking at the Rubik's Cube and trying to figure out how to solve it very, very quickly, even if whether that solve is something very positive or something that we're trying to find our way through and mitigate.
I had this image. This is kind of funny, but a friend of my son's, he took a Rubik's Cube recently and then he threw it on the ground and I jumped. I was like, oh! And he goes, I did it on purpose. And then he picked up all the pieces and put it all back together in the perfect way. And I was like, I was so frightened, right? But I just thought of this idea of like, you take the pieces, slowly put them together, and then sometimes you have to break it in order to put it all back together too. So I don't know if that's
Or
something you've experienced.
maybe you are comfortable that all the colors are not in perfect alignment.
I love it. I love it. That's beautiful. Oh my God, Sabrina, you're such a breath of fresh air, and I'm so grateful for your leadership. Thank you. Yeah, this is a really wonderful conversation. It sounds like you're at the intersection of global impact and then also personal impact, right? And really, I think when we can find that balance of saying, hey, I am here to affect change. Like literally, like I, one person, have this ability to affect change globally. And in order to do that, I have to empower myself, right? And I have to be strong and have this advisory board and put myself in front of an external network that is going to lift me up. And some of that is what we're doing. Also, Sabrina's been a part of my leadership table mastermind, which is my higher level mastermind program. And then I've also opened it up to a women's leadership accelerator, where a lot of the women coming from the leadership table are now mentoring the women inside of my women's leadership accelerator. So I want to invite everybody who's listening, just take a quick moment to invite you to join us. We're actually all experiencing the summer of magic together. I had a woman just last week who, on our executive mentor call, we opened up with wins and celebrations. And she said, hey, I did the interview course that Stacy has inside of this program and I got the job, like literally within a week, as if by magic, right? But she did the steps inside of the course and it worked. Right. So I want to invite anybody who's listening, if you're interested in joining us inside of our community, please, please, please come. We can't do this alone. Literally, we cannot do this alone. The impact that we really want to be making, even if it feels like we should be able to, don't. Join us. It's only $29 for the first month. You can trial and come on in. And Sabrina, is there anything else that you would like to leave our audience with today? Any other thoughts on your mind?
I would say, well, first of all, I wouldn't be successful at a ball if it wasn't for very hardworking team members that I have, and so I have to
Yeah.
acknowledge that, and
Yes.
with leadership support too.
Yeah.
So those are things you never do it alone on this kind of work, and The other thing I would just say is stay curious, stay flexible. I think being in a company for so long, I've even witnessed it. Some people might try to pigeonhole me as somebody who wouldn't be creative, but I might be one of the most creative people on the team that's pushing new ideas. So I think if you could show that you're curious, you're willing to try new things, you're willing to take risks, it's going to set you up for success.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Sabrina. I hope to see some of you. Go to mysummerofmagic.com. We have a call tomorrow, actually, inside of the group. So I hope to see you there. And Sabrina, thank you for sharing all your wisdom with us today. I'm so grateful.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye.